don't strike out, and they don't strike out a lot here. Orioles on this side against lefties, not bad. They're putting up some run support here at home against lefties, but they're striking out a lot. But with that said, Patrick Corbin really isn't a strikeout type of pitcher, so that's one thing to notice to look at as well. So now let's get into the SDQL portion of it. I want to bring up the Nationals first. I believe they were the road dog today. First thing I look at here is this road dog. I think the road dog, yeah, versus Tyler Wells. And just noticing they're straight up here, 13 and 19. OU, here's a big 21, 9 and 1 to the over in the first 5. That's what I was looking at earlier. And let's look at Patrick Corbin as a starter. So this is season equals 2022, team equals Nationals, away, and starter is Patrick Corbin. Here's more support for that first 5 over, 5 and 1 to the over here. And a lot of it is on the opponent's side. So obviously we're looking at Patrick Corbin to give up a good amount of runs here in this one. Looking at the past games, Braves, Pirates, Rockies, Brewers, Mets, Reds, some good bats there and some not so good bats. So there's a good mix there that's putting numbers here in this first 5. And then let's look at the Orioles here. So they're not home favorites often. You don't see that often with the Orioles here, but you can kind of see from this perspective, the Orioles do get a good amount of runs here in those situations. Looking at the first 5 over, 2 and 1. This is probably obviously the one that went under, but most of the time it's the Orioles putting numbers up there. As far as Tyler Wells, the starter goes 6 and 7 in the first 5 over under, close to 5 runs there. Let's see how he does at home. And this one is over the 5.4 average there with a 3 and 2 to the first 5 over. Ultimately, I went with the first 5 over here. A lot of things point in that direction. The Skies, what was this say? Sky Aces was the game of the year in oh man, that game was amazing. Offensively, they put out a good showing for sure. But yeah, so going back to this game here, the ultimately I ended up with the Orioles in the Nationals first 5 over 5 runs. I think we got it at plus money earlier, so it was a good number to get with a lot of support behind it. And the next game we were looking at was Twins first 5 run line. We had the Twins on the first 5 run line. We got McKenzie versus Gray here. Both solid pitchers from a numbers perspective. If we look into further detail here, Sonny Gray at home, very strong. McKenzie on the road, not bad at all. 2.84. I think the biggest difference here is the hits allowed and the walks allowed, specifically from a last 3 perspective. So just in general, which way they're trending, right? So we have 5 hits allowed, 2 walks allowed per game in the last 3, versus Sonny Gray, where he's at less than a half walk allowed per game, and then 3 hits allowed per game. So from a whip perspective, a lot lower than McKenzie here. If we're just looking at the first 5, That's just basically matching up the starting pitchers right there. And then the home away splits here. The Twins hit righties well at home, a lot better than they do lefties. And then the Indians, pretty even, lefties and righties on the road. From a last five perspective, Indians are hitting a little bit better in the last five. Twins, not that much better. Worse from a batting perspective, but run support wise, it's about the same. And then the bullpen here, this is what we kind of want to avoid here with the first five. You can see the Twins struggling in the last five a little bit more than the Indians. Overall, Indians do have a better bullpen on the road. So if we go back to the SDQL portion of it, the first thing that pops up is Twins. And as a home favorite, right here, Sonny Gray, McKenzie, home favorites -155. If we look at the run line first five here, 18-4 in this situation, the Twins are 18-4 in the first five run line in home favorite situations. So that's a very, very strong trend in my opinion. You can even look towards the first five money line, 18-3-1 right there. And then if we look at the other side of it, and we look at the Guardians as road dogs, 7-16 on the road on the run line as a dog. And then if we look at first five straight up, 5-16-4 there. You can see there's a big gap here, at least a one run gap in that first five, 1.1 run gap in the first five there. Let's see what the gap was for the Twins in the home favorite situation. Huge gap right there, about 2.7 run gap there in the first five. So that's where we're coming from with that Twins first five run line. And I see some WNBA guys in here, so let's dive into that one real quick. We have the Liberty and the Sun here. The Sun -10. We're seeing some 10.5s open up at 9.5. So it's going in the direction of the Sun winning by double digits. The over is steaming up. 157.5 was open. Seeing 163s now. We're looking at circa probably one of the sharpest books here. 163 and a -10 there. Let's go here, bring up the WNBA. What did the Sun do at home? 7-2 straight up, 5-4 against the spread, 4-5. And the over/under split. Let's see how they do. Oh, look at that first half here by the Sun. A big gap there. Might need to look into that further. Both on 2 days rest. They've been playing a lot of home games in a row. Wait, what? Oh wait, it's because I put home. My bad. Let's see what their overall schedule was. Two days rest each, coming off an away game. They played the Mystics, so they're not traveling too far. They got the Dream up next on 3 days rest. So scheduling wise, I think it's okay. To me, it looks pretty good. They are coming off of a loss though, so they're that piece. Let's see how they do off of a loss. Sun 4-0 straight up, 4-0 against the spread, 3-1 to the over. That's a big double-digit margin there in those spots, and going well over the 162 there. Look at that first quarter gap right there, 29.5, 18.8. That's a double-digit gap in that first quarter. This looks like a smack city spot, if you tell me. Let's look at the Liberty here. Oops. If you guys are watching, anyone in the chat, you guys have any plays, put them out there and see. Let's dive into them. Liberty 6-10 straight up, 8-8 against the spread, 10-6 to the under. So a bit of a discrepancy with the over under there. But one thing that we do see here that is consistent is that first quarter, first half gap. They're typically down first quarter, first half. Let's see how they do on the road. Bro, what? Okay, yeah, I like this first quarter, first half for the Sun here. I think there's going to be a huge lead at the half based on game flow. Liberty have been doing well. Actually, they have been doing well a lot better lately. It's funny because Laney has been out for a while. So you can see right there, their start, a lot of L's, and then all of a sudden they kind of flip right here. So they played against the Fever, Mystics, Lynx, Fever, Sky. They lost to the Sky but covered. Mystics, they beat them. Sparks lost to the Storm. Man. Let's see let's see what kind of numbers they were putting since June. All right, so since June, when they started performing a little bit better, 5-3 straight up, 6-2 against the spread. Here is the gap difference again, so it's a little bit different here, but they still do a lot better in the second half than in the first half. And we're looking at away, so only 2 road games there. 2-0 straight up, 2-0 against the spread. They play against the Mystics and the Fever. They should have took care of the Fever. The Mystics here. I want to see this game. If anyone in the chat knows if EDD was playing that game, I want to know if she was on there. Okay. First 5 under. EDD was in. I'm assuming that's in. Thanks, G Martinez. Let's go back to Connecticut again. I want to see what their first half was. Okay. Didn't play in the second matchup. Appreciate it, G Martinez, for adding that in the chat there. All right, let's look at this here. So I brought up WNBA advanced stats. I'm gonna bring up the last 5, just recent stuff. Looking at pace here, Sun, Liberty. So Liberty's still slow-paced team. Defensive, we got Liberty up here. Sun still Sun's still a top defensive team. Offensive perspective, Liberty, that's where the difference has come. I feel like from the beginning to the latter part of this season, is Liberty's offense really has picked it up efficiency wise. I mean, if I was to bet anything here today, I would look towards maybe a team total type under on the Liberty in the first half, just because of pace wise there, and then also defense. because we're looking at Sparks, Wings, Aces, and Dream. Sparks, Wings, Aces, and Dream. If we look at pace, see, so that's where it is right there. So if we're looking at this number here, right, 94.5, 77.5, and we're looking at each team that they played here. These are all fast-paced teams. That's what pushed it to the over. And now we're looking at the Liberty, who have been a better offensive team, but their defense has picked up and their pace is slow. So we're looking at pace here. These guys are a lot slower than the four of these guys. Mad Stoney, first quarter Sun. Yeah, I like that first quarter on the Sun. Yeah, appreciate everyone in the chat right there. Yeah, so I like that first quarter Sun. Also maybe a look towards a team total first half under on the Liberty. I think the reason why the Sun were giving up this amount of numbers of points is due to the pace of play of the teams that they're playing. Like I said, if I look over here, all of those guys are in the top 5 of pace in the league, and we have the Liberty down here, just a couple possessions slower, but you add to the fact that they play strong defense as well. That's the only, I feel like the only two ways that I could look at this point. Let me look at that Liberty again. Liberty on the road. Were they ever a favorite on the? Oh, they were a favorite on the road. Let's do as a dog. It's still that game here. All right, and it was trending to the over. Man, I feel like it's kind of steaming. It's to the point where it's kind of steaming too high. What about the first half? First quarter. I think I'm gonna rock with that Sun first quarter. That might be the way that I go on this one, guys. I think that gap for the Sun. Shit, sorry. The Sun coming off of a loss, man, they come out with a vengeance. And I think from a opponent standpoint, I think Liberty is really on par with some of the teams that they played. And we look at the Aces here against the Sun, and then if we look at home favorite, that's exactly 3.5 right there. First, man, now I'm kind of going back and forth with this first quarter, first half, because look at that second quarter in these games as home favorites. And then the line is 9.5. Oh wait, it's actually double digits now, huh? At 10. Well, let's see how the Sun have done. What the line is left center equal my center. So double digit favorites, 3-0 straight up, 2-1 against the spread. Bro, I think I'm gonna stick with this. Let's see what. Oh, so they were down in the first quarter in this game against the Fever. Came back in the third quarter, second quarter. Nah, I think I like the Sun first quarter or first half. But what do you guys think about that team total under first half for the Liberty? Because look at their defense here in this first half in these situations too. Coming off a loss. I'm on team totals first half. Oh, it doesn't have it. Okay, let me check my book. 1 second, guys. I'm gonna check my book to see what the line is at. Team total first half 38 for Liberty. That's pretty much on point. But then these were the teams that were fast paced. Home favorite. And then we go back to double digit line. And then we go to Liberty. Oh, shit. I'm gonna go back to this June date because that's where they kind of flip the script. So if we look at there, they're pretty close to that 38 point right there. Coming off of a loss. How did they do off of a loss here? Motherfucker. That makes it interesting. Hey, man, I'm down. If you guys see these things, sorry, in the chat here, the site, yeah, man, Stoney, dude, if you ever have any questions on this stuff, just let me know. There's also an SDQL Discord where you can ask a lot of questions. A lot of people share stuff on there as well. I was in there asking questions to the owner of this site actually to pull to figure out how to pull data. So they answer a lot of questions, guys. If you go, I'll share the Discord link probably after the show if you guys want to see this. But this one got me thinking here with the Liberty. You know, after, like I said, after June when they kind of flipped the script with their offense, coming off of a loss. Now they're 3-0, 3-0 straight up, 3-0 against the spread, and 0-3 to the under. So that kind of makes it tricky. That makes it tricky. Tease, my guy. What do you got on this game, bro? You got to help me out here. All right, so they paid the Fever, the Lynx, and the Sparks. So those teams aren't that great. That's the thing. So I'm still gonna go. I feel like I still want to go with the Sun here, first quarter, first half, maybe. That might be the way that I go. You twisted two teeth, yeah. Liberty kind of flipped the script on us. They flipped the script on us, but I think for this show, I want to say that I would probably be looking towards that first quarter on the Sun. That might be the way that I go. I see how they're doing here. The Liberty off of a loss, but if we're just looking at opponents, none of these guys compared to the Sun here. Sun coming off of a loss, I think that gap right there is just too big of a difference. Yes, Tease. I don't know if you were. I don't know if you were here, but I was showing the Sun here off of a loss. 4-0 straight up, 4-0 against the spread, and comparable teams in my opinion. But I mean, obviously Liberty, I think they've just been a lot hotter than these guys. But my perspective, there's this an almost 11-point gap here in that first quarter. I think that might be the way that I go here. Also, I think these totals here, 94.5 and 77.5, is inflated due to the pace of play of these teams here. So I think another thing that I was thinking about is actually towards the under. So fading the steam here, going up to 163. That's my thought process, guys. I haven't placed a bet on it yet, but I'm really looking towards that Sun first quarter. I think that might be the way to go. But to that note, guys, I broke down those two games, those two MLB games, and this WNBA game. Make up your mind. Yeah, I'll watch the show, Tease. I'll watch it. I'll watch it right after this, actually, to see what you guys got going. I like to cap my own stuff before I look at other people's. But I think first quarter Sun there. I think the other two that I gave out in the baseball was the Twins run line, first five run line, and then the Nationals and O's first five over five. Those were the two MLB plays here. Again, guys, I appreciate you guys for showing up here. And basically, it's the end of the show. Thanks to all those who tuned in on YouTube and on Twitter. If you are on YouTube, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button before you bounce. Make sure you check out the links in the descriptions as well. And as always, I have to end with this. Please remember, whether you fade me or follow me, it's on you to make that call. Good luck on all your action. Till next time, peace.